which is brought to you by the Office of the Academics Director and Access Malawi Online. Today we are having a guest and we'll have a thoughtful dialogue concerning this topic of the role of the youth in politics. So, as it is concerned in Malawi Vision 2063, where the youths are the key stakeholders of the political success or the success of politics, as Malawi 2063 Vision 2063 is concerned. So at this point in time, let me give it to my colleague for the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll start with the introduction part, of which, sir, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I would like to ask to introduce yourself, to tell us how you find yourself in politics, like what motivated you to be in politics. We understand you are still in the ages of the youth. So, as much as the youth is concerned, and today's topic is concerned, can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Dennis Mahata Tantwekanga. Yes, indeed, I'm in the political circles. I'm the founder of National Resolution for Change, NRC. It stands in 3 segments. There is strategic operations as far as intervening in Malawi's political landscape is concerned, as far as in intervening the change we want. So at first, NRC is a political philosophy. It's a set of predetermined formulas on how we can tackle most of the issues in Malawi, pressing Malawians as citizens and pressing Malawi as a country. Now, the second segment, it's a revolution. We plan on engaging the civil and the intellect. So it's a civil and intellectual revolution at the same time. And we really fight the enemies of this country. We try to stop their damage as far as Malawi is concerned. So by the enemies of this country, maybe don't imagine that we're carrying guns and saying fighting our borders. No. Yeah, we believe Malawi has 3 enemies. The first type of enemy, the first kind of enemies are systems. These are bad systems that have been created and they are sabotaging the growth of Malawians, their prosperity, and what have you. The second enemies we see are institutions. Now these are offices promoting even the bad systems themselves, making us go through paths that may not yield the results we want as a nation, whether they're doing it naively or deliberate. Now, the third type of enemies are the people themselves. These are people who benefit from our misery. So, NRC as a revolution is fighting such. Now, NRC as a political party now, this is our opportunity to recruit workers to help us in our cause. So we believe as a political party, first of all, we'll be able to recruit MPs, be able to recruit ward councillors, so that we intervene in our country at the most bottom unity level, which are post centers. We believe the country is not just a country. It's made up of tiny cells called post centers, and we want to reach there and spread our philosophy as our intervention. Now we also believe that a political party will also give us political authority, which will help us cause obedience to the systems. It will help us have political power, which will help us share work and responsibility. And we also believe it will give us political resources, which will help us finance initiatives. Yes, I'm a youth, and I've found myself in political circles, and you may wonder that a youth in political circles, you may also wonder, how did I get into that? Yeah, I have to make it clear. I believe we have to mobilize as many youths as possible for this cause, But what I don't believe is we have to contest because we're youths. So we have to contest because we have solutions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not contesting because I'm a youth. I'm contesting because I have solutions. Yeah. And the same should be the same mindset among the other youths. So the young people are a lot, and the young people have the energy. So in terms of demographic coverage, it's very good to encourage young people to contest, not because they're young people. Yeah. So I find myself in the political circle. I think it's an ambition from way back. Maybe I just have to say I've gotten in the political circles earlier than I planned. All along growing up, I've always planned to be the political circle. I've always planned to contest for the presidency. I had my reasons, and one of the biggest reasons is because where we're coming from, I saw that us were commoners and Twamba, but commoners we never had anyone to represent us. Now we could see that every system being built is not being built in the favor of commoners, because we don't have a representation inside the political space. So it has been my childhood dream that one day I have to contest for the presidency, and God willing, I have to become a president. But maybe the question is now, why sooner? For me now, I'm contesting not the same childhood dream anymore. Now I'm contesting because I feel like we need to intervene very quickly. Malawi is suffering state capture. So cartels who sponsor political parties have put their people in the systems. Those people are not coming to save us. So someone has to come in. And I saw nobody's coming in because of the price one has to pay. Everyone is afraid of death. Everyone is afraid of uncomfortability. Everyone is afraid of the convenience it comes. Everyone is just busy doing his bread and butter, growing their careers. So I realized that I, who understand the need of a quick intervention, have to be the one to jump in. So here I am now, attempting that jump in.
Thank you so much. That was a great comprehensive you had. Thank you very so much. So I heard you talked about recruiting youths. So this segment, I'll ask about civic engagement and participation of the youths. What are some effective ways you believe young people can participate in political processes? And can you provide examples of successive grassroots organizing or volunteer efforts?
Okay, come again.
What are the effective ways you believe young people can participate in a political process, and can you provide examples of successive ways organizing or volunteer efforts, or like volunteer manpower?
Okay, so as I said earlier, it's quite important that young people should participate because of the demographic advantage they carry. But what can I say is every position should be able to engage a young person. We have problems here in Malawi where there are some laws that limit, which limit other young people from being in other positions, discriminatory. But there shouldn't be a position where a young person cannot contest, And the same criteria you are giving a young person to be in the same position, it should be also the same criteria you are giving another person. I always say, if I come in this room, they will say, that's a youthful presidential candidate. You see? And it looks like it's a good thing, but it's not. Because an 80 years old president entering, they will not say, that's an old presidential candidate. So they'll just say it's a presidential candidate. Yes. But when it's a young person, they have to add young. So on the table of contestants, we are all contestants. We are presidential candidates. In Chicho I can say, Timati, President wa Chinyamata, kuwasuza mpaka kuti president wachikulire. So akawa chikulire ndi president. Koma akawa Chinyamata ndi president wa Chinyamata. Because at the end of the day, I'm not carrying solutions for young people. I'm carrying solutions for every citizen, all citizens, including young people. So I also had a certain journalist, after I did a press briefing, he said, we're here at the press briefing organized by Dennis Mahata, president. He's a young person and he's speaking on how he wants to help young people. I said, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I was speaking about solutions. let's say here you're at Luana, right?
Yeah.
Bunda campus.
Yes.
If you are suffering for you are lacking tuition fees, tuition for your academics, you see, that's a problem for you as a young person.
Yeah.
But your parents also affected.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
If I help you with a tuition policy that makes you not bother with tuition anymore, I've not solved only a youthful problem, I've also helped your parents.
Yeah.
You see, so problems in the country are general. They're for all citizens, the infants, old people, young people. You know, yeah. I just want to clarify that part. But now the participation of young people should be encouraged. Young people should come be councillors. They should come be MPs. You know, they should come be presidents. You know, and that's the political system part, as you mentioned. Now there's also a volunteer part. A volunteer part is where active and vigilance citizen participation. Here, let's say there's what? There's agriculture economics.
Yeah.
Last year, there was a monetary rate 26% that was imposed by these big institutions on World Bank, on Reserve Bank. It has been repeated again. It has been repeated this year also. So we actually know that if 26% rate damaged our kwacha last year, we know 26% will damage our kwacha this year.
Yeah.
You see?
Sure.
Here there's Bunda, agriculture economics. That rate affects a farmer. We can come here, the way we are sitting in this room, and say, you are students of Econs, I've also come here, let's work on a monetary rate that we can suggest to the Reserve Bank to adopt. We'll calculate all the formulas there on the water board, you know, we'll calculate everything, and we'll give it to the Reserve Bank. That's volunteering, you know. But you see, such things can't happen, because the moment I come here and say, where are students of Econs? Let's gather and work on a monetary rate. Then another presidential candidate comes behind and says, where are Bunda students who have t-shirts? Which room will be full?
Obviously,
the t-shirts one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our participation as young people is being bad because we have a price.
Yeah.
We are silly and stupid.
Yeah, sure.
You see, we can sell our country over refreshments. We can sell our country over t-shirts. We can sell our country over hype. You see, if today we said, guys, this water is bad, it's an emergency, let's gather here and work on this day and night for maybe a week. Their socials, this room will be empty.
Yeah.
Hey, you see,
Yeah.
someone will say, socials, you want to service. The point you find some money rate. You see, so volunteering is what is for young people, because young people are used to be bought, so they have a price. But we encourage volunteering, and we have demonstrated in our whole journey. You know, I used to be a president, you know, student union. I was in NRC.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but I became also president for the whole one. So all these campuses, Bunda, off campus, you know, and what have you. Yeah, I was in the council, and I was kicked out. I was kicked out of the council.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't trust, you know.
What happened?
Because our fellow people of the union members had a price. We came to the council, there was a fees hike.
Yeah.
And we said, now, as we are very different. We are not like students unions. We just want to demonstrate, break things, you know, for no apparent reason. We are here to reason. We know it's high time fees was increased because there's inflation. But now we are not comfortable with how much you have increased the tuition, because it's not adding up. If we look at the percentage of the inflation, it's not adding up. If we look at the recession in the country, it's not adding up. So let's do the math together. So we challenge, hey, if you prove to us that we need an 80% hike, we'll back off. Hey, but if we prove to you that, because my point was we need a 12% hike, you know, and we arranged those meetings when the math was going to our side, that dean was not comfortable. So it's closed that meeting. I decided finding us behind, you know, you know, and I told my son, I said, no, academics will not proceed until we settle this thing. I don't know about other campuses, but my campus, I've seen all the data. Majority of the parents there are villagers, and raising fees is justified, but raising fees to destroy, you know. Yeah, so I'm saying this because I'm not impressed with Rwanda, right? But at that time, if you go in hotels, every hotel, at least one boardroom, was hosting a Rwanda meeting.
Wow.
They were spending a lot of money, and they say, you're complaining about subvention, and they need to increase fees. You see, but we have boardrooms at school. See, this is a good boardroom. Why are we meeting there? Why are we not meeting there to save money? You know, you're wasting resources at the expense of poor parents. And there was a fight like that, you know. And guess what? Other students, they went behind us. They were given what they were supposed to be given, you know, favors, what, and that's were punished, you know. So that's the other point I wanted to make. So I'm taking much of your time. But when it comes to participation, it's not just about volunteering. It's the risk that comes with what you are volunteering for. So young people have a price, you know. And can I tell you what happened? On our campus, fees only increased with 12%. The other campuses it increased with 30%.
Wow. So your fight was benefiting.
The fight was benefiting a larger population. You see, so you need to be. We need to be agents of change, not just beneficiaries of change. And we are afraid to be agents of change because we are afraid of the price. So young people have to volunteer, but they have to volunteer even later to pay the full price for change. That was the point I was driving at.
Thank you so much. And that I was also about to asking the challenges the youths they may meet in those positions if they are to join. I was also about, so you talked about the price. Maybe you can also be willing to add some other few challenges whereby Ajinyamata amakumana nazo. So maybe they are afraid to participate in politics, maybe just because they haven't reached 30 yet. What can you tell? What can you say?
Okay, so I think young people they don't have to be naive. You know, they have to realize that they're the ones to live longest in this country. And what happens is, if they're not participating in leadership, then they're not participating in decisions. So they have left those decisions to a population segment that will not be there in the future. Whether we like it or not, there's death, right? So as years go, population segments exchange on how long they can stay on earth through death, you know. So if you leave the decisions to the people outside the youth league, they're deciding on a future they'll never be there. They can't be responsible. You see? So there are challenges in participating. The first one is stereotypes. You know? Just by being a young person, the way they think you're not worth leadership. They think you have to learn leadership, you know? And for you to break through those barriers and prove that, no, I'm equally competent, you know, it's not easy. It takes a lot of boldness. And I think another thing is resources. Because young people, they're still at a stage where they're still growing their pocket through careers and what have you. And they don't have resources compared to the bigger people. Now the bigger people, they speak the resource language because they don't want to speak the intellect language. Because when you start speaking the intellect language, you may be at par or you may even be above. But the resource language, they know young people, Sangamage, So with little resources, it's very hard, you know. And some of these are just the laws themselves. I think you have seen me go about fighting the presidential thing, about the age being above 35. I think you have heard about that. This constitution itself is saying no one can be a president unless it's 35 above. 35 above. The national youth policy says what? 35 above, you're not a leader. I mean, you're not a youth. So the constitution is actually telling you that as a youth, you're not allowed to be what? A leader. That's a very big statement, and it's very concerning. It's very concerning. And that's something that is past, you know. It's regretting our elections. So there's so many challenges, but I think those are the key ones.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just to remind you, we are on intellectual talk. Intellectual talk on the topic on the laws of the youth, particularly in the politics. So now to divert a bit, we'll go to talk about issues to do with utilizing social media for political advocacy. Now, the question might be, in what ways do social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok shape narratives among youths? And we're asking you this because you understand you yourself, you mostly found in the social media platforms. I haven't heard of you running on the ground. So can you tell how this social media utilization shape political narratives?
Okay, I'll answer you that, but I should correct you a bit. You say I'm only found on social media.
As for me,
it's where you're able to find me.
yeah, I'm able to find
Because
to access you.
on the other places I am, you're not there.
So, and I say that most
If
of the
I'm at the parliament, you're not there. If I'm at IMF fighting for the better roads, you're not there.
Yeah,
But you see me on Facebook when you're on Facebook and you think, this guy stays here. No.
Okay, thanks so much for that correction.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for that correction.
but it's a communication model.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a communication model which has proved to be efficient and effective, because it's easy now to access a phone, than to access the whole TV.
Yeah.
You see, so social media penetrates in our daily schedule easily. After a meeting, while you're just relaxing, you can quickly go through TikTok, quickly go through Twitter and Facebook. So it's a place where you can find almost everyone, especially in developed places. And now it also carries agendas, through trends. So it's a powerful tool, because if you can carry an agenda, see the way the Sona thing was being handled.
Yeah.
You see, it was a trend, but it was carrying an agenda. So you see that the president lied in Sona. What else has been lying? It's trending and people's eyes are opening.
Yeah.
You see, and maybe he's trying to correct some things. You also see from there. You see, so it's a place where there are trends. So the trends can carry an agenda, and also, and I think it's easy to bring people together without physical barriers. So if we say let's gather at Bunda, that's a physical barrier. But we can say, hello, alive, JB. Everybody can find each other on JB's page.
Yeah,
you see,
yeah.
it has broken physical barriers. So I think it's a very big tool, and I'm glad people are opening up now. There are things like Twitter Spaces. People have deep conversations there. But at the same time, we still have much to do in utilizing social media, because I think in Malawi, hype is taking most of the content.
Yeah.
You see, and in hype it's just entertainment. At the same time, we still need more content and more fan base going into important issues, like the issue I just told you about 26%. Who's talking on social media about the 26%? No one is saying 26% last year destroyed our kwacha, so it has been repeated again this year, so our kwacha will be destroyed further. No one is talking that on social media, you see. But there are some things they're talking about which are just fun, so I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, indeed, you answered indeed. To go forward, you talked about why we need young people in so many positions to bring out decisions and like to represent the commoners, some kind of and what have you. So why is it important to have young leaders like in government and in organization? What unique perspectives do you think they bring to policy discussions? What do you think specific perspectives?
So there's something that we always underrate. It's called the school of thought. That's why we like inclusion, right? We believe young people have to come inside and to join also the old people. We don't believe in taking the old people out. So we like inclusion. So there's a perception an old person can carry. It will be totally different from a perception a young person can carry, because the time frames are exposure, and every human being is under what we call early child education, whether they like it or not, whether it's formal or informal. The timeline instead, as a young person, will have a very big contribution. So your parents who stayed before a computer and you who stayed during a computer, your brain at a young age was exposed to something they were never exposed. You see, you have different levels of creativity. Not that theirs will be bad. Theirs also, they never had the computer limiting them, so they also have an advantage in another sphere. Now you and them coming together, now it's to the advantage of the country. So school of thought, the exposure we learn from, and you should observe groups. Just bring a topic, bring it to old people, and take the same topic, bring it to young people. You see a total vast, a vast line of thoughts and what have you. So
Thank you. As we are going to an end of this program, all right, you talked about NRC. You are political party you just founded, and you talked about philosophies. Uh, I just want to have some clear note. I've also heard about accounts, and I don't know if you can say the update of your coming up manifestos. I don't know if you can say about that. What really these philosophies are, and what these accounts are.
Okay. So you have spoken about the accounts. Accounts are just part of our philosophy and what we call prosperity. So our philosophy is just very simple. It's just three things. So we want to achieve prosperity for Malawians. We want to achieve sovereignty for Malawians, and we want to achieve a sustainable future. The good future we will give them, which is has sovereignty and prosperity, it has to be sustained for generations and generations to come. So it's just as simple as that. Now we have what we call 3 F's. Yeah. So the first F handles prosperity. We call it financing.
Okay.
So we have financing models under that. So it's account number 1, account number 2, account number 3. Then on sovereignty, we have 1 F, we call it fighting. But don't think the fighting of exchanging bros and what have you. No.
Okay.
Yeah. But sovereignty is the ability of a country to rule itself,
Yes.
to be independent.
Yeah.
So we are here to fight for that position because we still have a lot of systems that are from Atsamunda that are ruling us.
Yeah.
So we are fighting for that position. That's the fight for the second F. So the third F is foundations. I said sustainable future, right?
Yes.
To achieve a sustainable future, you have to create some foundations. You have to demolish some foundations.
Yeah.
Because let's say you have bought a plot for your children,
Yes.
and you have built a foundation for 5 bedrooms. When they come in future to continue building, they will produce a 5-bedroom house. Yeah, you're able to control the outcome of the future through the foundation you left.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just the same thing. So yeah, you spoke about the accounts. However, account number 1, it's existing at the moment.
Okay.
But account number 1 is like a model that collects money from citizens, right? Yeah, going to the government. So this model collects money through things like taxes. Yeah, we believe there's an amount of tax you have to collect so that you don't infringe the growth, the financial growth of whom you have collected from. It can be a person, it can be an entity. You see? Yeah. But is there an algorithm that is able to estimate your potential, your tax paying potential? No. They just say, I'm a person Makuti. You get, I know it's a percentage, they can justify that it's a percentage, but there's so much that has been done. So yeah, we have improved a little bit the account number 1. And we have a new concept, the account number 2.
Okay.
So account number 2, there's no model in the country that intentionally releases money to the people. You see, I think you had I was privileged to watch Dr. Kabambe.
Yes.
Yeah, just the season, the interview with Joab on the Cruise 5.
Yeah.
He kept emphasizing on the point of putting little money in the system. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem I have with economists. Economists say if you put a lot of money in the system, you cause inflation. They might be right, story for another day, but they never talk of the wrongs or the consequences of putting little money.
Okay.
Putting little money in the system is even worse than putting excess money, because when you put little money in the system, sweat is never rewarded. So it means all your citizens will be working in vain. You see, and that's not a good thing. That means you have demoted your citizens from citizens to slaves. You see? So account number 2 is an intentional way, very sophisticated. It calculates too many things, and the algorithms are doing that, and they're able to determine how much money has to come to the system. Not too much, not too little, just enough. And it's always a system. There's always a margin of error, because it's an estimate. So we have account number 3 now, which with reverse algorithms, so that if it erred in exceeding, then this should deduct. If it erred in putting little, this should increase. So some of that. And also the account number 3 is also another part. The other part is good-backed companies. So people are thinking they're mistaken because we have not have a lot of time to explain this. We will, and they may be not in a lot of detail, because this information we are protecting it also. If it runs in the wrong people, it will never work. So, but the idea is, equity, capital. Some companies outside there, we need them because they have products which we don't have. It's hard to substitute fuel just in a day. It's hard to substitute fertilizer just in the day.
Yeah.
So we need them to still giving us some of the things, and it means we need forex. But if we get forex, it means we are disadvantaged because we'll be forced to adopt a monetary rate by the World Bank and the Treasury, which is very bad for us. Now we have to be able to do away with much forex as possible, and to do that, it means the companies abroad which have something we need should give it to the companies here which have the gold backing equity they need. So they're not taking our gold, but they are getting our gold as capital, as something that is representing their equity, which is carries more weight than their dollar, because their dollar is not printed on gold. It's fiat money. It's just printed out of thin air. You see? Yeah. So why we're doing that is because if we said, this company outside the country, I should do this for us, and we have to pay them, they wouldn't receive our kwachas. We'll be forced to have many dollars, but we don't transact in dollars.
Yeah.
So they have to use their dollars. But what they have lost, they have bought shares in our account number 3, which is a gold-backed equity.
Great.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. We have known a lot from there.
Thank you.
To finalize, now let me focus now much in your party, in your political party. Actually, I didn't want to go deep into your party, but now I just want to have a picture. Now we are going closer to elections. We have seen others are now thinking about alliances and the stuff. And we have seen also some other parties of the youths are coming up. So, are you having a potential to accept an alliance?
Okay, so I don't think we can win an election without an alliance.
Okay.
You should understand it very well.
Okay.
But the alliance with political parties, want to have an alliance with Malawians.
Yeah.
Okay.
As citizens. You know why? The alliances with political parties, they are not being done to help Malawians. They are being done to gather Malawian votes for their own political career. You can never point an alliance in the history of Malawi that helped Malawians.
Okay.
You see, he even asked concerning the votes coming. You see, you don't ask about an alliance concerning the work coming to fix Malawi. You see there?
Now,
So
I understand.
we need an alliance where Malawians are accepting us as their leaders. Then they're accepting also that they can work with us tirelessly to bring the philosophy to change the country.
Yeah.
Because you see what? You can do alliances, you win an election. An election is one day.
Yes.
Yeah. But fixing the country,
It's a long
it's
process.
it's a lot of days with hard work and intensity. You need those people to be workers, not supporters. That's why our political party, we refuse supporters. We say we only need workers. If you are voting for us, you are signing a job contract. Your vote is a job contract. You are saying, I want to work with you. So you see, so for us, there's no point in winning while Malawians are not willing to work with us. So I said, the biggest winning to us is changing Malawi. It says, if I say we can't win without an alliance with Malawians.
Okay.
Yeah.
That creates us.
Yeah.
That creates us a lot. Reaching this far, I just wanted to ask you to add anything as much as our topic of the law of the youths and politics is concerned as we are concluding this program. Just anything.
Okay, so I think what I can tell young people is politics, it allows us to have a space in governance. And governance allows us to have a space in decisions. Decisions allows us to have control of the outcome of our future. So if they are denying politics, they are denying a space in governance. If they are denying a space in governance, they are denying a chance to decide for the fate of their own future. So let them come in politics. And we spoke about the participation for a long time in this session, and there's a part of them that needs their intellect. So there's also a part of them that needs their civil power. Let me conclude this way. the intellect alone is not enough.
Okay.
We have seen so many people, they were intelligent, but they failed to bring change. The simple power alone, it's not enough. We have seen so many people who are vocal and vibrant, they fail to bring change. It's why change is dynamic. It needs all these two things. So once you have created something with your intellect, you should be able to give it the forceful backing for that thing to be implemented. So if we say we have created this monetary rate, that's our intellect. But for the Reserve Bank to get that monetary rate, hey, we need to gather outside the Reserve Bank.
Yes.
Hey, and make it an inconvenience for them to receive.
Yes.
Hey, so you see, so we need the civil and the intellectual, and to combine
Combine.
as young people. Thank you.
That's very great for good of our preparation as the youths.
Yeah.
And we are very, very glad we had you this moment. As we were concluding, I'll just give my colleague to give us the closing thoughts.
Before I give my closing thoughts, I just want to ask some two questions. Yeah, so what are maybe the ways that you have put in place for implementations of the plans that you have made as a party, as a politician?
So sacrifice and the sincereness. We have to be very sincere on what we will be able to do, and we also have to be able to sacrifice for what we want to be able to do.
All right. That means we have to sacrifice everything. that we have.
Exactly.
All right. So I heard you in this other interview. You were saying that the debts that we have, we don't have to repay in dollars, but we have to start repaying in kwajas. What's the science behind that?
Okay, so
Yeah.
now that's me as a revolutionary now, not me as a leader of a political party.
Yeah,
as I
yeah.
said earlier, that NRC, part of it is a revolution, right?
Yeah,
You
sure.
fight with enemies of this country. So the people who have created that system, of course, maybe because of time I can't go into details,
Yeah.
but there's a very big system that has been created under the law of nations.
Yeah.
Now, as we go into a debt for a foreign currency,
Yeah.
yet we don't make foreign currency, that's a trap, because they know that we shall never be able to pay back.
Yeah.
But you know, we got that debt from money they never worked for. It's money they just printed, you see. And when they gave us that debt, it was had an interest. That interest rate gave them another exponential power to print more. So technically they've already been paid. They've already paid themselves using
Yeah.
the exponential power our interest gave them.
Yeah.
But they also want to get the money again from us, and in a currency which we never afford. So we say, okay, you guys, what's the rate of Malawi kwacha to dollar?
Yeah.
So 1,700
Yeah.
Malawi kwacha
Yeah.
is equal to $1.
Sure.
Okay, so we have divided our kwacha until now it's 1,700. Yes. Meaning this devaluation is a rate you have approved. Yes. Okay, so if you say $1 is equal to 1,700 kwacha, be able to receive 1,700 kwacha instead of $1. Because that's the rate you have approved.
Yeah.
Because if you say you can't receive kwachas, then why did you give a rate, an exchange rate? Exchanging in what scenario? Because there's never a time you receive our money doing sales.
Yeah.
So exchanging in what scenario? They will say maybe the money market, but the money is not good. There are only three functions of money.
Yeah.
You know, to be a medium of exchange,
Yeah.
but it's not the goods being exchanged,
Yeah.
or the service.
Yeah.
To measure value, but it's not the value
Yeah.
being measured. To keep value, but it's not the value being kept. So at what time has money become katundu to be on a market?
Yeah.
You see that, eh?
Yeah.
So those are traps which they created. And you know what? For those traps to work, they have to educate people to continue those systems. People for our skin color. Because if you see Zungu doing that, we'll question. Hey, you say, yeah, why are you making an exchange for us? But no, you be a graduate from Bunda Economics.
Yeah.
Hey, you get a distinction. They've taught you that.
Yeah.
You go to Reserve Bank. You be the one now producing that rate. Imposing it on your president.
Yeah.
So we have to be revolutionary, and we say no, it can't be that. Can't be that way. Yeah.
So simply, you're calling for an economic revolution.
Exactly. So I said there's a part we have to be intellectual, intellectual revolution, and there's a part we have to be civil. Because just the example I've given,
Yeah.
the day we use our intellect and say, want to pay in kwacha,
Yeah.
they will respond physically.
Yeah.
Then we have to also be ready to back up ourselves physically.
Now I understand.
Now you understand.
Yeah,
Thank
now I
you.
understand. Thank you so much. So the last question, what can you give to us as intellectuals? Because it's like we are part of the smallest percentage of the elite in this country, let me say so, to be blunt. So what can you give to us, maybe for us as youths and intellectuals to go into politics? What can you give to us?
So you're asking me what can I feed you?
Yeah.
I will still bring it back to you. What is your appetite saying? Because I can have a dessert cake.
Yeah.
I can have many course in sima. I can have a starter soup.
Yeah.
I will bring it. But if you are salivating for the cake,
Yeah.
you will not eat the soup.
Yeah.
So there's so much I'm already giving. But is it in the line of the appetite you are carrying as intellectuals? I've done so many public lectures. There are intellectuals standing in my way.
Yeah.
Economics chosateka. Yeti the economics situ imene kufuna kusamala anthu amba. Iwe akufuna yoteka yosamala stock market. Stock market kula gogwawo.
Aye.
Stock market kuli amayawo.
Aye.
You see? Amayawo ali kuti? Ali kumunda. You see? So I will bring it back to you. What appetite are you carrying? Because what you are, the appetite you are carrying will determine what you eat among the dish I'll give you. But I'm giving all the dishes. First course,
Yeah.
I mean a starter, main course, and dessert. I'm giving.
Wow. Thank you so much. All right. So this marks the end of our today's session, today's episode of the Intellectual Talk Show, and we had our guest, Mr. Dennis Mahad. I don't know, Doctor.
Just Dennis Mahad.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Dennis Mahada, and it was something that was great, and I hope it has taught us a lot, and for the lot it has taught us, I think it's time for change. For the things that we have heard from this place, it's time for change. It's time to make a revolution. It's time for us as youths to stand out and bring change to the world. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, my colleagues. And let me just say thank you so much for listening and watching. It was really an honor to have you there. And we hope that you will be the agent of change, as Mr. Mahada said. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.